would you consider it hypocritical for a woman to ask for a man who's honest, authentic, real, genuine? The two key words here are genuine and authentic. If they use face filters, Photoshop, have plastic surgery, and cake on makeup. Go ahead.
I think if you're talking to somebody that you have a comfortable relationship with, that's an easy conversation and you should be open about it. But if it's somebody random, I just met you, and I'm going to ask that question, I think it's a little rude. Maybe if you're friends, you can talk about it, but I wouldn't ask that to strangers.
Ask what? What do you mean?
If you're just a random guy and you're like, hey, are you photoshopping your photo? Like, okay, how does that information benefit you? Versus if you're a guy I'm dating and you want to know, are you photoshopping your photos? Then we'll have that conversation, but not with strangers.
Well, that's not so much the question.
Okay. What was the question? That's how I interpreted it.
It's not so much would in a relationship a guy be asking those questions. It's, okay, for example, oftentimes you'll see women on dating apps who say they want a guy who's authentic, genuine, honest. But is it fair for a woman to want these things or be requesting these things if they are inauthentic and ungenuine in terms of,
so like basically as if you're presenting as fake.
You're presenting yourself as fake.
Right.
Because here, I'll pull up some. Eric, can you pull up the there's some screenshot examples here that were found online. So she's saying, I'm looking for a real genuine man. Fake lashes, maybe fake lips, full face of makeup, filtered. Next one, Eric. She's looking, I go crazy for authenticity, fake nails, fake lashes, full face of makeup. Hold on. Okay, well, just leave it there. That's fine. You're not materialistic. You should leave a comment if you're not materialistic, are genuine. Go to the next one, Eric. This is the same girl. So full face of makeup, fake lashes, filter, fake nails. Next one. Same filter, full face, maybe full face of makeup, fake nails. Next one. And then green flags I look for, genuine, fake lashes, fake hair color, full face of makeup, filter. Next one. Green flag, same girl, just different photo. Fake lashes, full face of makeup, filter. Her hair.
I think we get
her
it.
Yeah, that's the last one. So
Makes sense.
So they're on dating apps. They're asking, hey, I want a guy who's authentic. I want a guy who's genuine, yet they are anything but. What do you think about that?
Those pictures, you can see that they're obviously photoshopped. So they're edited. So maybe take the person out in person and get to know them and see if what they're presenting on the photos is how they present themselves in real life. If they have an overly photoshopped photo and then in real life they're catfishing you and they look nothing like that, that's very ingenuine. So take the person out, see how they are, chemistry wise. Don't just base it on the photo.
But some men are not savvy enough to necessarily understand how, those were some extreme examples, but some men, like with the filters and the makeup, like that might not be what you actually look like. So to me, it's sort of, I consider it to be like a deception. And you say, well, take them out. But like, it's kind of, us as men, we'd rather know what you look like proper before we commit to a date. But go ahead. I'll let the table answer. Go ahead. Your take.
Oh, I thought you were still answering.
Unless do you have more?
Nope, I completely agree.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, I
into the mic, please.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I totally get I guess I could say I understand the men's perspective of wanting to see the genuine, the genuine person, and I understand how makeup can kind of seem fake. But I feel I agree with take them out and get to know them, because I feel with makeup comes a lot of insecurities. A lot of girls do makeup because they're insecure. But yeah, I feel I could agree to you as well.
I don't feel like there's a right or wrong way to answer that question, because I think it's really just up to your, you gather your own insight based on how you want to feel about it and how you perceive it. I feel like, and I can understand like maybe some men feel like they're being catfished out there, but I also feel like if you're just not sure, then maybe swipe the other way and, find something, on the other dating app that is sure. But I don't feel like women are out here, wearing makeup to necessarily catfish. I'm not wearing makeup because I feel like I'm trying to cover up anything. I'm wearing makeup because I want to enhance my beauty. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's not, covering up. I feel like me personally, I'm wearing my makeup. If I took it off, I don't look that much different. I feel like a lot of women here too wouldn't feel that way. And I don't know. I view it very different, I suppose.
Okay.
I mean, I understand a man's point of view, but I think, like, if you're not sure if a girl is faking something or not, and you're just not interested in that, and you think she's being a hypocrite, then don't even put yourself in the situation to judge a woman for what she does.
Don't judge a woman for what she does. What do you mean?
Like, you can judge her, and that's obviously like what you are doing on dating apps, but like, don't put yourself in the situation that's gonna make you feel like you're being lied to.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of agree with what everyone is saying about it. I don't really.
You have your own independent thoughts, I'm sure.
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, so let me try to frame it in a slightly different way. So I don't think it's a mystery to anyone, to both men or women, that, and this is the case for both men and women, that a primary attraction trigger for both sexes is physical appearance. Mm-hmm. Makeup is ultimately a lie to a degree. So now if you put on a little bit of mascara or some eyeliner versus full face of makeup, there's obviously a spectrum to how much makeup you're wearing, but seeing as it's a dating app, and in the context of dating, physical appearance for both sexes is important. Do you feel that on a dating app, it's kind of unfair to just be strictly using these super heavily filtered, super heavily makeup photos? Because you're essentially kind of, especially, I mean, a lot of the photos I showed, it was full face of makeup, filters. It's kind of deceptive.
Yeah.
I don't mean to like cut you off,
Go
but
ahead.
if I could just kind of invert myself, I feel like it's kind of a double, edged sword. I mean, not every man who's out there posting is 6'9", maybe he's 5'11", maybe, he's a little huskier in his photos, you're not going to go out on these dates, I think, like with the highest expectations. And I feel like, just like in anything in life, you're taking a risk, and I feel like, again, if you're just not sure, maybe just keep on swiping. And I don't think it's that. I can understand the catfishing aspect of it, and I could understand, the aspects of that. But again, and I feel like if you're just a man and you're not really keen on a woman who's wearing a lot of makeup, then why are you, swiping on the women who are making wearing a lot of makeup in their photos or presenting a certain way, And I feel like, I get it, I do, but again, I feel like you could take yourself out of that really easily.
Sure, yeah. I mean, certainly nothing obliges men to swipe on women that they think could be that are wearing too much makeup for their taste, right? Mm-hmm. But speaking outside of just this singular situation where you could advise a guy, hey, if you're not into the super heavy makeup look, just don't swipe on her. But I don't know, to me, even like there is a component of inauthenticity when look, if you're on Instagram, Photoshop, if you want to Photoshop the shit out of your stuff, whatever, that's fine. But a dating app is a very specific place where you're trying to potentially attract a partner. And so to specifically selectively select photos where you're sort of, to a degree, misrepresenting your appearance by using filters.
But I think
and
that's
like,
kind of the thing, you know, you want to attract somebody, you want to lure somebody in, you know what I mean? And I kind of see where you're going with it. But I don't know. I want you to talk more, but I'm having a hard time just being like, just swipe away, you know? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think you should put your best foot forward. You shouldn't look like a slob and
Right.
disheveled in your dating photos. But I think if you go too far to the extreme, then I think it's sort of, generally speaking, in the same way that I agree with you, if a guy said he was 6 feet but he's actually 5'9",
Right.
that would be
I'd be like, "Where's the
dishonest.
extra
and
five?"
that is and that's a complaint that women have. Like, hey, these guys are fucking capping about their height.
Right.
You're not 6'1", you're 5'9", you know? So like that's sort of, I think, the
But I feel like that
the
comes
mirror.
with the territory, you know, you're on a dating app,
Yeah.
you know, you're not meeting somebody in person, you
At
know,
the
you're
end of
not
the
putting
day-
yourself out
sorry.
there. Go ahead.
At the end of the day, it's still like a platform that you're on, and no matter what, like someone's gonna lie if they have
Yeah.
the opportunity. Sorry.
Sorry.
You're good.
No, I just feel like if you're on one of these platforms, like you have to know the risk that there are going to be catfish and there are going to be people who are saying they are something and are not. It's just the internet. And I feel like if you're going to sign up for a dating app, like you have to know what you're going to be expecting.
Okay. But so I guess kind of to add to this with the whole height thing, a woman who has crazy filters on her photos in the dating apps, who's face tuning, photoshopping, full face makeup, whatever, can she be upset when she ends up on a date with a guy who says he's 6 feet but is actually 5'7"? Can she be upset?
I think she could, you know, but I also just feel like you should just be honest, you know, on the date, you know, from the get-go. If you meet somebody, you're not feeling it, you know what, nothing personal, no hard feelings. It's just, I'm not feeling it. You know, to me, it's just very easy to kind of split off from. And I feel like, I don't know what man or woman out here is, you know, looking at photos and being like, that isn't photoshopped or that doesn't have a filter, you know, like I feel like it's pretty easy to tell, and you can kind of expect and maybe take with a grain of salt, like, you know, oh, this person might not exactly present the way that they do, but I'm still attracted to it, or maybe I'm
Sure.
not, you know.
Okay. Let's continue on so everyone can give their... Did you want to come in at all, or what about you?
For me, like, if you don't want to have catfish people, just don't swipe right. Just like pass through them. Like, if you don't want fake people, just don't add them.
Okay.
I'm kind of conflicted on this one, just because I know you compared a lot of like Photoshop to being the same like amount of fakeness of, okay, correct me if I'm wrong.
Sure.
But like Photoshop being the equivalent to wearing fake eyelashes and fake nails, I don't think they're on the same level.
No, that definitely, like photoshopping, if you're bringing in your
Yeah.
waist, you're like
Right.
boosting the size of your breasts, your ass, like that's definitely on a different level. Like there's definitely a spectrum to
Okay.
it. So
Okay, I that's understood.
in the same way that a woman who's just wearing a bit of eyeliner, just speaking about makeup, it's much less than if it's like full on face with contouring and concealer. Like there's obviously levels to it. And I think Photoshop is probably the biggest bad guy in this, where you're like morphing your body and changing your jawline. That shit's pretty egregious, I think. So
I mean, I get that. Like, as a woman, if I were on a dating site, which I'm not, and I showed up to a date and the man didn't look anything like his profile picture, like, obviously, thoughts would run through my mind. I would be like, what the fuck? Wait, I can cuss, right?
yeah, you can.
Okay,
cut-
I would
you
be
can
like, what the
curse.
f- is going on? But what I was going to say is that these people that Photoshop or have plastic surgery or do, like, whatever to themselves, people want that. Like, there are people out there who are looking for that. And so that's cool. And, like, if they
Erroneous! Erroneous!
Wait, people, hold on.
Wait, what did that even just say?
There-
Don't worry about it. Okay. Wait, so people are looking for the heavily makeup and like
Dude,
plastic
some
surgery?
people
Some
are.
people
People love
some,
that shit.
Some men
Yeah.
want a Barbie. Like
They do.
Look-
They do.
That's
and
a-
that's what
honestly-
society. It's because that's what society portrays. Like we look at
Well, yeah, you got Kim
celebrities.
Kardashian
Yeah,
and all
Yeah,
that
that's what I'm
shit.
saying.
But
And they.
I would
men-
say the majority of men prefer a woman with no or minimal makeup and no plastic surgery. In fact, let's ask the chat here. Chat, I'm going to ask you 2 questions. The first one is going to be about plastic surgery. Guys, 1 in the chat if you dislike plastic surgery on a woman. 2 in the chat if you're for plastic surgery. 1 in the chat if you like plastic surgery on a woman, so fake lips, fake butt, BBL. 2 in the chat if you dislike that.
We're getting a lot of ones.
Okay, can I ask a question? Not to the chat, just to you.
Hold.
Or-
Yeah, just 1 sec. Let's see what the chat. Okay, we got a lot of ones, a lot of ones here. We got 1 guy with a 2. A couple with what? Come on, y'all. Amplified truth, you're
I
full
don't
of
feel
shit.
like all plastic
Bruv.
surgery is that bad.
Yeah.
What
How
if
you
you
gonna
have
s-
like
oh
a
my-
horrific scar on your face and now you want it removed, or maybe you don't like a bump on your nose and you want it gone, or you don't like your lips. You're doing this, and you
Well,
feel
there's
better, you look
degrees.
better. There's definitely limits to this.
Like BBL,
right.
that shit looks weird. I think
But
BBLs
some
look
men
terrible.
like that.
Some
Some
men-
men
yeah.
want
There
that.
are men that
Kim
yeah.
Kardashian has a BBL, and everybody,
Right.
millions
And
of
now
men
men
look
are,
at
like,
that
upset.
and want that to be the standard.
And she has unfortunately probably influenced who knows how many thousands of women
Yeah.
to follow in her footsteps and get a ridiculous looking plastic surgery.
Yeah.